Have you ever felt lost? Have you ever felt thirsty for something more than just water? Maybe you are in a desert of your own right now, a place where hope seems far away. In these moments, God gives us a promise. It is a promise whispered through the ages, yet as real as this very moment. In the book of Exodus, God makes a powerful declaration. He says, "I am the Lord who heals you," Exodus 15:26. This is not just a title he gave himself long ago. It is a description of his heart. It is a promise meant for you. God sees your hurt, he knows your pain, and he wants you to know that he is your healer. This promise is one of the first names God reveals about himself to his people. Think about that for a moment. Of all the things he could have said, he chose to introduce himself as a healer. He is Jehovah Rapha, the Lord who restores, the Lord who mends, the Lord who makes whole. This name is a gift. It is a firm place to stand when everything else feels like sinking sand. It tells us that healing is not just something God does. It is who God is. His very nature is to bring restoration and peace to the broken places in our lives. He doesn't just have the ability to heal. He is the source of all healing. Imagine a doctor who not only has the perfect cure, but who also loves you with a perfect love. That is the picture God paints for us. He is not a distant, uncaring force. He is a personal, loving Father who bends down to tend to our wounds. He looks at our deepest hurts, the ones we hide from everyone else, and he offers his gentle touch. This promise was not just for a specific group of people thousands of years ago. It echoes through time, reaching into your life today, right where you are. He sees your tired heart, your worried mind, and your aching body, and he offers you his healing. When God makes a promise, it is sealed with his unchanging character. He is faithful. He is true. His words are not empty wishes, but solid realities we can build our lives upon. So when he says, "I am the Lord who heals you," he is inviting us into a relationship of trust. He is asking us to bring our broken pieces to him. He wants us to believe that he can do what no one else can. He can restore what has been lost. He can mend what has been broken. This beautiful promise is a beacon of hope, shining brightly in the darkest of nights, reminding us that we are never alone in our struggles. To understand this promise fully, let's travel back in time. Let's walk with the Israelites. They had just witnessed a miracle. The great Red Sea had parted for them. They had walked through on dry land, escaping the Egyptian army. They were free. They sang songs of praise to God. Their hearts were filled with joy and wonder. But soon, their celebration turned to desperation. For 3 long days, they journeyed through the desert of Shur. The sun was hot, the sand was endless, and they could find no water. Their thirst became unbearable. Their hope began to fade. Finally, they reached a place called Marah, and there was water. You can imagine their relief. They must have rushed forward, eager to drink. But as they tasted the water, their faces turned from joy to disgust. The water was bitter. It was undrinkable. The people's hope shattered. They began to complain against their leader, Moses. "What are we to drink?" they cried out. Their fear and frustration boiled over. They had seen God's power at the Red Sea, but in this new trial, their faith faltered. They forgot God's goodness and focused only on the bitter taste in their mouths. Moses did what we should all do when faced with a bitter situation. He cried out to the Lord. He didn't have the answer, but he knew who did. And God answered him. God showed Moses a piece of wood. It was an ordinary piece of wood. There was nothing magical about it. But God instructed Moses to throw it into the bitter water. When Moses obeyed, a miracle happened. The bitter water became sweet. It became fresh and life-giving. The people could finally drink and satisfy their deep thirst. God had turned their place of bitterness into a place of refreshment. It was right there, at the waters of Marah, that God made his promise. After healing the water, he said, "If you listen carefully to the Lord your God and do what is right in his eyes, I will not bring on you any of the diseases I brought on the Egyptians, for I am the Lord who heals you." God used this moment to teach them a profound lesson. He showed them that he had the power to heal their circumstances. He could turn the bitter things in their lives into something sweet. The healing of the water was a sign of the deeper healing he wanted to bring to their hearts and their nation. When we hear the word healing, we often think first of our bodies. We think of sickness, disease, and physical pain. And God certainly cares about our physical well-being. The Bible is filled with stories of Jesus healing the blind, the lame, and the sick. God is the great physician, and he can bring restoration to our physical bodies in miraculous ways. He created us, and He knows every part of us. He can mend a broken bone, fight off a disease, and soothe a chronic pain. Trusting Him for physical healing is a powerful expression of faith. He is our hope when doctors have no answers. But God's healing goes so much deeper than just the surface. He is also the healer of our hearts. Life can leave us with deep emotional wounds, a harsh word, a broken relationship, a painful loss. These things can create a bitterness in our souls, much like the waters of Mara. We can carry around hurts for years, allowing them to poison our joy and peace. God wants to heal those wounds. He wants to pour His love into the broken places of our hearts. He can mend the pain of betrayal and loneliness. He offers a peace that goes beyond our understanding, a comfort that soothes our deepest sorrows. Our minds also need God's healing touch. We live in a world filled with anxiety, worry, and fear. Our thoughts can race, filled with negativity and doubt. We can feel overwhelmed by stress and pressure. God, our healer, wants to bring peace to our minds. The Bible tells us to give Him all our worries because He cares for us. He can replace our anxious thoughts with His truth. He can renew our minds, helping us to focus on what is good, pure, and lovely. This mental and emotional healing is just as miraculous as any physical cure. It brings a wholeness that affects every part of our lives. So when God says, "I am the Lord who heals you," He means all of you. He is talking about your body, your heart, your mind, and your spirit. He wants to make you completely whole. This is the beautiful picture of biblical healing, or shalom in Hebrew. It means peace, completeness, and well-being in every area. It's not just the absence of sickness, but the presence of God's restoring power in your entire being. He doesn't want to just patch up your wounds. He wants to give you a new, abundant life, free from the bitterness of the past and filled with His sweet presence. This ancient promise is not just a history lesson. It is a living truth for you today, right now, in the year 2025. God's healing power is not confined to the pages of the Bible. I have seen it. Perhaps you have too. I have seen marriages, once bitter with resentment, become sweet with forgiveness and renewed love. I have seen friends whose hearts were shattered by grief find a deep, unexplainable peace that could only come from God. These are modern-day Mara moments, where God takes the wood of the cross and transforms a situation from bitter to sweet. His healing is real and active in our world. Think about the friend who was consumed by anxiety, constantly worried about the future. After crying out to the Lord, she found a quiet confidence and a steady calm in her mind. Or consider the person struggling with an addiction, trapped in a cycle of shame. Through a relationship with the healer, they found the strength to break free and walk in a new way. God's healing might not always look like a sudden, instantaneous miracle. Sometimes it is a gradual process. It is a journey of trusting Him day by day, as He gently mends our broken pieces and makes us stronger than before. So what do you do when you find yourself at a place of bitterness? When you are facing a sickness, a broken heart, or a troubled mind? Do what Moses did. Cry out to the Lord. Be honest with Him about your pain and your fear. You don't have to pretend to be strong. Bring your weakness to Him. Bring your hurt to Him. Bring your questions to Him. He is not afraid of your complaints or your doubts. He invites you to come to Him, just as you are. Trust is the bridge that connects our need to His limitless power to heal. Never forget this simple, powerful truth. God's nature does not change. The God who healed the waters of Mara is the same God who is with you today. The God who promised to be the healer of His people is your healer too. His love for you is endless, and His power is limitless. Whether your healing comes in an instant or through a long journey, hold on to His promise. He is Jehovah Rapha. He is the Lord who heals you, and His sweet restoring grace is available to you always. Trust Him. He will not fail you.